What's going on, traders? A few things to talk about. We're going to get straight into it. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So we're going to start with Bitcoin because there seems to be a lot of confusion on my projected targets when it comes to Bitcoin. So I want to make something clear here. There are short-term projected targets and there are long-term projected targets. So when I'm talking about Bitcoin, let's say, for example, I say Bitcoin is heading to 105K from here. Obviously, that is a move that's more likely to happen within the short term versus the long term. Why? Because we're not far away from 105K. But when I'm talking about a target of 150K, and even though I say this every time I mention Bitcoin, that I do believe Bitcoin is going to see 150K by the end of the year, for some reason, we're expecting that move to happen overnight every time I say it. I don't understand. Even though I say it at the end of the year every single time, right? So when you're talking about a target of 150K, 200K, obviously it's going to take time for us to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. So again, I always talk about this in the Discord. Short-term projected moves, long-term projected moves. For the short term, it's very much possible Bitcoin hits 104K. The reason why I say that is because you're continuing to make lower highs. You got a high here, lower high here, another lower high here. And this candle right here, this bullish candle flips red, or even the next candle turns red, and we continue back towards the downside, we're creating another lower high. Now, again, like I said in the last video, what I would like to see for Bitcoin here is that we make some type of double bottom. So if we reject back towards the downside and hit that 104K target, we'll basically be hitting the top of this rising wedge, and hopefully we can wick off the bottom of this rising wedge, creating a double bottom. So we'll have a bottom here, another bottom here, and then our neckline will be all the way at 113K. And what I would like to see for Bitcoin to basically hit previous highs or even all-time highs is for it to mount or break and hold above 115K. If we break and hold above 115K when it comes to Bitcoin, at that point I do believe all-time highs is on the table. So this is something you want to pay attention to. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to hit 104K from here. I mean, we hit 106.5K. I'll take it. But if we do, again, that is the expected move, or the move that I am expecting to happen. But if we continue further towards the upside from here, everything still remains the same. I want to see Bitcoin hold above 109.3. From there, I'm looking at 110.5. And then from there, I'm looking at 113K. Now, when we look at order flow, something interesting has happened today when it comes to order flow and MSTR. There's a lot of calls coming in for MSTR, a lot, right? You got 305 strike calls, you got 400 strike calls, you got 300 strike calls, 300 strike calls. Expiration October 31st for 2025, obviously. Another 305 strike call for October 31st. So you got two of these. So this one is 500K premium, this one is 200K premium. And you scroll down and you just see a huge influx of calls coming in. So, you know, screenshot, do what you want to do with this. But again, MSTR is something you want to pay attention to. Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of where MSTR is. Maybe it gets news after hours tomorrow or something like that, or over the weekend. I don't know. I'm still not a fan of MSTR right now. Right, we traded MSTR to the downside yesterday. We made a nice little bag off of it. But for now, let's actually go to let's reset this. But for now, until MSTR breaks back within this range, or breaks back above 300, I should say, then I can't be bullish on it. I need more confirmation. Now, one thing I will say, like we talked about with Bitcoin, right, it's very much possible, so let's zoom in here. It's very much possible that we form a double bottom here. You'll have a bottom here, another bottom here, and then your neckline is basically about, what, 305? 310 at the most. And so if we can make that happen, just like I talked about with Bitcoin, then obviously, you know, we're going to see some astronomical levels towards the upside when it comes to MSTR, possibly as high as about 480, 500. So something you want to pay attention to when it comes to MSTR and Bitcoin, right? You want to see double bottoms form on both of them. You know, a double bottom can form here, you have a bottom here, and again, like I said with Bitcoin, you can form a double bottom somewhere around here, if and only if this is not a double bottom already, because you can potentially form a higher low here. So I want to make that clear. So pay attention to Bitcoin. Again, crazy amount of calls coming in for Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin, but MSTR. So yeah, definitely something you want to pay attention to here. Again, like I said, I am overall bullish on Bitcoin until we break below 97K. That's when I become bearish. That's when I flip bearish on crypto. Until that happens, overall, for the long term, I say this every video, for the long term, I am bullish on crypto. Even if Bitcoin hits 104K, I'm still bullish on crypto. If Bitcoin hits 100K, I'm still bullish on crypto. If Bitcoin hits 98.1K, I'm still bullish on crypto. Okay, I want to make that clear. All right, short term, Yes, very much possible we see 104K, but for the long term, still bullish on crypto. Simple as that. All right. Hopefully it's clear now. Hopefully I don't have to keep repeating myself every single video. I don't know how that's confusing, even though I say by the end of the year, but it is what it is. All right. I'm here to help. Right, do what you want with my information, whether you want to believe it, whether you think I'm wrong, whether you think I'm right. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. All right, so let's move on. So SPY. So right now it's looking like the SPY wants to hit 675. 675 is where our call wall is. Now in our last video we talked about a dump and pump scenario, and we didn't get a dump at all. We just consolidated above our key level of 664.10, and then we just pumped towards the upside, right? And it was a slow grind towards the upside, and so it's looking like, again, the SPY is heading towards 675. Now the question is, what happens once we hit 675? And honestly, I can't tell you guys, and the reason why I say that is because it's very hard for me to believe that we're just going to continue to pump towards the upside nonstop tomorrow or whatever right before big tech earnings next week. So I do imagine that there's going to be some type of profit taking before big tech earnings next week. I could be wrong, but for now I'm looking at 675 as a potential target, and then from there I don't know. Okay, from there I really don't know. It's important to note that your key level here is 673.7. You got a rejection here, another rejection here, and so if we manage to break and hold above this level, we'll obviously be making new highs, and then from there it's very much possible we can continue higher, 680, 685, 690, so on and so forth. So pay attention to SPY. Me personally, I'm not looking to enter any more calls until I get more confirmation. Right now I'm pretty much neutral. Okay, I'm pretty much neutral, and the reason why I say that, and you guys you may see it as a cop out, but in reality we're not doing anything. It's really annoying. And the reason why I say that is because you consolidate, you swing back down, you consolidate, you go back up, you consolidate, you go back down, you consolidate, you move back up, and then you consolidate all over again. So you keep going back within this range between 664 and 673, right? You just keep trading within this range. No matter where you go, whether it's to the downside or to the upside, you get right back into this range when it comes to the SPY. So pretty annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, Trump does his thing. All right, but otherwise that's what I'm looking at when it comes to the SPY. Nothing too crazy for the upside, just 675. And then as far as the downside goes, if we reject back towards the downside, 664.1 is your key level. All right, triple Qs, 615. We talked about this in multiple videos. Now, me personally, I thought it was over, right? Because we headed as high as 613 when I was talking about that move to 615, and I was just like, all right, I'll take that as a win. But for now, it's looking like we're heading back towards 615. If we manage to break and hold above 613, obviously we're making new highs, and then 615 is our next target, and then from there, again, can't tell you what's really going to happen. I just have to assume that we're going to continue higher, 620, 625, so on and so forth. So that's something you want to look for when it comes to the triple Qs heading into tomorrow or even next week. So that's what I'm looking at. Again, I expect some profit taking. I could be wrong, but that's just me. All right, do what you want with that information. So another thing that has came in to the order flow. So we're going to go over IWM. Right, a lot of puts are coming in for IWM, like a lot. Like a crazy amount. Okay, it's looking crazy. Even like 1 minute before official close, you see even more IWM puts come in. But let me lock you guys in real quick. So yeah, a lot of puts are coming in for IWM. Like a lot of 240 strike puts came in this morning, right? 240 strike puts for November 21st. Like crazy premiums, 200K premiums, 600K premiums. You got 245 calls. Sure, you got 250 calls coming in, but look at the premiums. They're like very low. So in case you think I'm trying to be biased or anything like that, I'm honestly not. Actually, let's do this. All right, so let's filter this because we're just looking at a bunch of irrelevant stuff. All right, so we're just going to do 200K premiums and up. So as you guys can see, again, look at these 240 strike puts coming in for IWM. Like there's a lot of these for November 21st. Could they be hedging? Sure, right? There's no way to really know, but it could be hedging, right? And then you have, October 24th, 240 strike puts coming in for tomorrow as well, 200K premium, 300K premium. So again, a lot of premiums coming in for that November 21st, or a lot of bearish premium is coming in for that November 21st date. So something you want to pay attention to when it comes to IWM. Pretty crazy. So when we look at IWM right now, IWM is trading at the bottom of this rising wedge, and crazy enough, the projected move for this rising wedge is 239.4. so very much possible that maybe we head a little bit higher tomorrow and then we reject back towards the downside towards that 239 projected move of this rising wedge. possible. It's also important to note that you do have a gap fill down here at around 238, 237. So, and we haven't filled it yet. So do what you want with that information. So that's what we're looking at for IWM. Last but not least, because I'm kind of getting a headache here, Tesla. A lot of flow came in for Tesla today. A lot of flow, guys. I mean, look at this. Look at this. So again, screenshot, do what you got to do, but there's a lot. This is insane. You got 500 strike calls, 600 strike calls, just so much premium, bullish premium coming in for Tesla. So yeah, I'm not going to go over all of this. You do what you want with this information, but that's what we're looking at for Tesla. So when we look at Tesla, Tesla looks like it's trying to break out, right? As long as Tesla stays above 440, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, guys. So yeah, I don't know. All right, I don't know what's going to happen from here, but again, as long as Tesla stays above 440, it's very much possible you head back towards 460, 470. I do think that we're going to hit at least 460 minimum for possibly tomorrow, and then from there it's really up in the air. So Tesla definitely want to pay attention to. Obviously, 450 is a huge level as well. So if we can break above 450, obviously we're heading towards 460. Highest I'm looking at is 470 for the short term. And that's pretty much the video, guys. I got to get out of here. Head is starting to kill me. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and until the next video, traders, have a good one.